Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic, and I want to welcome you to my channel, Opinion Stated, where I give unfiltered, opinionated sports takes. Let's go. Yo, what's good, everybody? My name is Cosmic. I want to welcome you back to my channel, Opinion Stated, and I have a very phenomenal episode for you today. In this episode, I'm going to be giving some much deserved flowers. If you've already seen the thumbnail, you know exactly what direction I'm headed into today. I'm going to talk about one Darvin Ham, former head coach of the Los Angeles Lakers and present assistant coach of the Milwaukee Bucks, the now in-season Emirates, in-season / NBA Cup, champions. So before I jump into this content, if you haven't done so already, please like the video. Liking the video obviously helps us to cruise along algorithm avenue, helps this kind of content get into the presence of those much like yourselves who are looking for this kind of content. Also subscribe to the channel and take the journey with us, you know what I mean, along this journey towards our first 500 subs. We are a little over 100 away from achieving that milestone. Super excited about it. Thank you so much to everybody who's been subscribing to the channel, who's been likewise commenting. So your comments are definitely welcome. Share your opinions in the comment section. Those who have been engaging, throughout, whether you're just viewing or actively participating, but your commentary is certainly, your opinions are certainly welcome here. Before we dive into the content, a quick word from our sponsors from Signature Barbershop. Yo, a fresh haircut is unmatched when it comes to making one feel like a brand new person. Patience coupled with precision, timing mixed with mastery are just a few ingredients that turn great barbers into legendary. Clean, comfortable, and elegant environment. Signature Barbershop puts your transformation in arm's reach. With locations in Scottsdale and Chandler, AZ. For a cut above the rest, book your appointment immediately. What more do you need to see? Oh yeah, and tell them Cosmic sent you. Blessings. So that's a quick word from our sponsors from Signature Barbershop. If you are in Arizona or happen to be breezing through and looking for a place to, get your hair cut, get ready for whatever event or evening or weekend, or, just want to freshen up, definitely check in with the good folks over at Signature Barbershop. Let them know that Cosmic sent you. They'll take great care of you. Amazing, incredible work they do. So diving right into this content, I'm going to entitle today's episode, Darvin Ham has earned his respect. So you have to be living under a rock not to understand that Darvin Ham, former coach of the LA Lakers, got his opportunity as a first-time coach after spending many years on the sidelines as an assistant or in the role of an assistant, player development coach, etc. A former NBA player himself, a former college standout as well. Darvin's been around the game for a very long time. Coached or performed his way on the sidelines into a head coaching position in LA, and he did a fairly good job, as many are, in the belief of after, kind of witnessing what he was able to do there over 2 seasons, and he sort of got the short end of the stick in terms of being scapegoated, railroaded out of town. This after taking a very subpar Laker roster to the Western Conference Finals, much to the to the shock of everybody except for like these zealots for the Lakers and Laker fans alike, and folks in the media who just expected a LeBron James team based on his previous play over the years, is just like guaranteed a spot in the playoffs. But Darvin was able to do a very good job, very effective job coaching up a very mediocre Lakers roster, and through the postseason, finding some success all the way to the Western Conference Finals, having defeated a very, very good Memphis team led by John Morant. Those guys were functional on all cylinders. So the Lakers were able to get by them and then to face off against the Denver Nuggets in the Western Conference Finals, where they would be, just defeated handily. They were just no match for the Denver Nuggets. Now, many began to blame Darvin at that point, like, oh man, he just didn't make the right decisions. He didn't coach his team, well enough, and all the blame fell on him, which, can be understood to some degree because, the leader at the top, for the most part, gets as much or, a lion's share of the blame as much as they get a lion's share of the credit, which I'm not sure that he would have gotten credit because he wasn't getting credit through, the wins in the postseason, but that neither here nor there at this point. He came back the following season after overachieving, and sometimes overachievement can be, a thorn in your side, but huge expectations obviously surround the Lakers and that franchise every single year. Historically, one of the best and most or winningest franchises in NBA history. So, expectations were incredibly high, obviously. Spotlight mostly shown on him. However, the following season coming in, same mediocre, kind of a roster or a bit of a roster makeup. And even though it really doesn't mean much, you know what I mean? He was able to coach this team to a in-season tournament championship first of, or the inaugural, I'll say, for the in-season tournament last season, where by they celebrated that thing, man, like it was the NBA championship. Like they were hoisting Larry O'Brien. In fact, they being the Lakers organization decided to raise a banner in their arena in celebration of that in-season tournament. I'm not here to minimize it like it wasn't a big deal. Every team in the league had the opportunity to compete for this in-season tournament. Congratulations to the Lakers for winning it. Congratulations to Coach Darvin Ham for coaching them through, right? An undefeated inaugural season of the NBA Cup, you know what I mean? Formerly the in-season tournament. But did a phenomenal job, obviously with the personnel that he had and just in that space of the tournament to win it all. And, the season went lackluster, of course, seeing the Lakers barely make the play-in and then get bounced out in the play-in tournament. Darvin was kind of scapegoated down the stretch of the season when clearly management didn't do a good job of, adding more pieces to the roster. I guess maybe feeling like, we just made it to the Western Conference Finals last year. The same team, like we should be able to at least do that again, or maybe, by virtue of having lost in the Western Conference Finals, I'm sorry, maybe we could actually, with better fortune, win it all this year. So overestimation, just utter and complete dereliction of duty and responsibility, in my opinion, from the front office. But nevertheless, Darvin Ham, was fired at the end of last season, and they brought in JJ Redick, to bring us to present date, where he's not finding any more success than Darvin Ham was in terms of record. In fact, Darvin Ham had a better record at this point of his tenure as coach than JJ Redick has, but that's neither here nor there. This is not a JJ Redick slander video. I just want to, point out kind of the history of how we've gotten to this point. So what I wanted to do within this episode is I just want to give Darvin some flowers, and I also want to quote or shine the spotlight on some comments that he's made. He's been very quiet, very quiet since being ousted out of LA and since returning to Milwaukee as an assistant coach, where he's, clearly doing a phenomenal job. But he, after the Emirates Cup, NBA Cup was won by the Milwaukee Bucks that he's an assistant for a few days ago, spoke out to the media, regarding his feelings and his position surrounded being ousted. So I want to get into those comments. Let's take a look. So what Darvin had to say, first and foremost was to do as well as I did. I swear to God, anywhere else, I'm probably looking at an extension with what I did. I'm not talking about feelings. I'm talking about facts. So facts over feelings. And I wish that many others could embrace this facts over feelings thing. But, people are constantly in my comments, you know what I mean? Just like all in their feelings over most of the things that, or most of the episodes that I produce, or some of them topically, which involve various subject matter, mostly the LeBron James critiques that I'll give or opinions that I'll state. And it's really weird to me. I'm like, I try to base my unfiltered, opinionated sports takes on the facts. And so even though I'm giving my opinion, I'm still basing it largely on the facts as to how I arrived at this as an opinion. So, man, stop. I've been accused of being emotional. And the facts stand on their own. The truth is standalone. It doesn't need any support. You know what I mean? So I don't have to get emotional about the facts. I just give the facts, man. Whether you like it or not, that's on you. It has nothing to do with me. But I wish that more people embrace what Darvin said there. You know what I mean? This ain't about feelings, really. These are just the facts. So continuing on, they go from not making it to the playoffs to the Final Four in the NBA, the conference finals. And then you win the in-season tournament, navigate through all the injuries, and win both of your play-in games to get to the playoffs. People always talk about us losing to Denver, but they never talk about how we got to Denver. We beat a kick-ass young squad in Memphis, and we beat Golden State. You know what I'm saying? So, those are Darvin's, comments, those just feelings, and it's 100%, understandable his position here, and I agree 100%. Which much has already been expressed even in the lead up to reading, Darvin's comments. You know what I mean? I share the same opinion as him. Like any other franchise, he would have been looking at an extension. You know what I mean? Like with what he had done, judging the body of work, and just saying, you know what, man, we've got something solid here in this coach to at least take the bare minimum and do something great with. But of course, in reality, it did not play out that way. And it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? So I just wanted to give Darvin his flowers by saying, man, clearly the resume that I, read off for him with his time in LA, you know what I mean? Like is substantial enough for him to get another nod as a head coach in the NBA, which he will at some point. You know what I mean? So, hang in there, Darvin. Obviously, he didn't just quit and give up on the game. Hey, life goes on. He turned a page to head back to Milwaukee as an assistant. So super good for him. He's not just sitting there on the bench, but he's had a major impact on that team and within that organization this year. And as a matter of fact, the Milwaukee Bucks, like I said, will go on to win the in-season / Emirates NBA Cup just a few days ago. And winning that actually made Darvin the only head coach, you know what I mean, to win 2 NBA Cup championships. You know what I mean? So he's a standalone company. Shout out to Torian Prince. I think as a player, he's the only one to actually win 2. There are only been 2. So if the NBA Cup means anything, it means that some history of some sort that is created as standalone history. You know what I mean? Those 2 brothers, sharing. So shout out to both of them. The impact of Darvin Ham on that team in Milwaukee, a few nights ago, if you haven't heard, some of you have already heard, but it was reported by Chris Haynes that the Bucks head coach Doc Rivers told me after talking with Darvin Ham and his experience with the Lakers last season, they chose not to celebrate the Cup championship with dousing and drinking of champagne. Wanting to focus on the remainder of the season, right? It's a long season ahead of them as a squad. And Darvin's like, you know what, Doc? Let's not, you know what I mean? Like make a bigger deal out of this than it actually is. These were essentially just regular season games that were already on the schedule with the exception of the championship. So let's just take this in stride, stay focused on the larger picture, especially because the Milwaukee Bucks were struggling, man. I'm talking about I did a struggle bus episode and they were kind of, shockingly, the Bucks and the Nuggets, I felt like we're just, well, Indiana. I mean, I was shocked about them, like, being on the struggle bus. And so if you tapped in with any of my preseason prediction shows, obviously I'm very high on the Bucks. And I had the Bucks finishing somewhere around the top 3 in the East this year. I believe number 3 to be exact. So, they started the season very slow, very subpar, and they've gotten it together, what I mean, as of late. They're sitting somewhere around number 5. They take on that very talented Cleveland Cavalier team tonight. So if you're sitting at home, like me, you're waiting on that contest. I think it's going to be a really, really good game. But Darvin Ham being his impact on the team from a motivational standpoint and from a focus and inspirational standpoint clearly stands out here. So I wanted to give Darvin his flowers. Doc took into consideration what he said, and he's like, man, you know what? You're right. Let's stay focused on the bigger picture. The trophy that we really want to hoist is that Larry O'Brien at the end of the season, not this in-season tournament. So, Giannis in press conference spoke out, about it too. Like, yo, so we're excited. Well, we got a lot of work, a lot of basketball ahead of us, and a lot of work to do still as a team. The dousing of ourselves in champagne with the goggles on us, that's stuff that's done during championship time. We haven't earned it. You know what I mean? Job not done. And so shout out to Giannis for adopting that Mamba mentality, you know what I mean, in a sense, even almost precisely down to the quote, job not done. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Milwaukee is a very, very in a very good place as a team, and continuing to build, and that's in large part clearly to the leadership. Also from a bench perspective of Darvin Ham, man. So I wanted to give Darvin his flowers. Darvin, you deserve it, bro. You deserve whatever blessings are to come your way, man. I just wanted to go on record saying as much. Milwaukee, stand up. You guys and your Bucks are trending in the right direction, and I'm excited to see how the season unfolds for them. Hopefully, Chris Middleton comes back and is able to get his footing back literally after 2 successful ankle surgeries, and he's able to find his groove here soon enough. So we'll see how the season plays out, man. I just wanted to point those things out. That's been the basis of this particular episode. I want to thank you guys once again for tuning in. Like the video if you haven't done so already. Subscribe to the channel. Comment your opinion as well. I'd love to know what you're thinking. You know what I mean? Like one way or the other, whether a Bucks fan or a Darvin Ham fan, or in favor of, you know what I mean, like Darvin getting the nod to be a head coach someday soon back in the association. We'll see what happens. You know what I mean? I'll catch you guys in the next episode. Until then, take care of yourselves. Blessings.